guys, welcome back and happy Sunday. Today we're going to be doing a cardio and core workout. So it's going to be 20 minutes long. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to do 1 minute of a core exercise. We've got some standing core. We've got some core on the floor, some core laying on our back today, a little bit of a mix. And we're going to follow that up with a 30-second cardio interval. So a little bit of HIIT, a little bit of core. We're also going to move some other body parts. It's definitely going to be a full body workout with a core emphasis. So I'm very excited about this workout today, and you don't need any equipment at all. When we get down on the floor, you might want a mat depending on what kind of flooring you have, of course. But go ahead, grab that mat if you need one. Grab some water, grab a towel. It's going to be hard and it's going to be sweaty for sure. And it's going to leave those abs feeling nice and sore. So go ahead, grab your stuff, and I will meet you back here. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with a warm-up. Let's start with a little standing twist. We're just going to go ahead and twist over those hips, taking those eyes with you. The eyes guide the spine, just twisting side to side, getting that core nice and warmed up. Great job, guys. Take your time here. We're going to spend about 30 seconds on each exercise, just getting everything nice and warmed up before we hit that 1 minute, 30-second intervals for our workout. Let's go for one more. Great. From here, we're going to go ahead and take a squat. Just taking those glutes back behind you like you're sitting into a chair. Little glute squeeze at the top, but we shouldn't be thrusting those hips forward. Just a little squeeze at the top to make sure those glutes are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Great job, guys. Couple more seconds here. So yes, we are doing squats. Squats are actually also a core exercise. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Let's go for one more. Perfect. Hold it up at the top here. Let's just go for some knee lifts. I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see. We're doing a little bit of a flexion forward here. Kind of a little curling forward, just like you would do if you were doing like some crunches on the floor maybe. Again, warming up that core, also warming up kind of the fronts of those legs. Doing great, guys. A few more seconds here. We're going to take a little standing side crunch. Last one. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take those hands up by our ears. We're going to go elbow to hip here. More so, actually, I want you to think rib to hip. Closing that space between the ribs and the hips. Really crunching through that waistline, coming up nice and tall in the center. Nice proud chest here. And then going over to the other side. We're getting down to the floor next. We're going to get started on our floor work with a static plank. You guys have options for your planks. You can go one knee, both knees up on your toes. Remember, it's just a warm-up, so go with whatever feels best for you. Let's go ahead, come on down. Nice straight line from that head all the way down to those knees or feet. Roll those shoulders back and down, squeeze those glutes together. Tuck that pelvis under just a little bit. And I want you to think about pulling those hands towards those knees or feet. You're gonna feel your core light up. Maybe you get a little bit of that shake as well. Keep breathing, guys. We're gonna go ahead and flip over onto our backs here in just a second. Go ahead. We're going to have knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're laying down on our backs, fingertips floating up by our ears. We're going to go opposite knee to opposite elbow. Little cross crunch here, keeping that chin tucked, just like you're juicing a nice orange underneath that chin. This is your last move in your warm-up. We're coming back up to standing here, and we're going to get started with a little cross tap squat. Go ahead, come on up. Feet are going to be a little bit wider than hip distance for this one. We're going to be taking opposite hand to opposite toe. So let's go ahead, come on down, little twist here, tap opposite toe. So we're twisting through that core, still squatting, glutes are coming back behind us. Using those obliques, twisting through that waistline. Really utilize your breathing here. Exhale as you rotate, inhale as you stand. Great job. We're coming up on our first cardio interval here. Remember, it's 30 seconds. We're going to be doing some squat jacks. I'm going to give you some options if a higher impact cardio workout is not really for you today. Let's go one more here. All right, let's go ahead. Come into that traditional squat position. We're coming down. And then we're going to go ahead, squat jack out, squat back in parallel, come out a little wider. option if jumping is not for you. We're just gonna step those feet in and out, a little faster, in and out. Weight is still in our heels here. Glutes are back behind us. Great job, guys. We're gonna come back up for that standing twist here in a second, but we're gonna add on a little balance challenge to really light up that core. Last one, come on up to standing. Let's bring our hands up into that little goalpost position. We're gonna rotate opposite knee to opposite elbow. So we got that twist, just like we did in the warm-up. But we're adding in a little instability with that knee. Anytime we do any sort of balance, any instability work, it makes our core work just a little harder. Great job. Let that heart rate come down from that squat jack. We're gonna go for a little more jumping again here in a second. I will give you another option, of course, if maybe jumping isn't for you, or a kind and courteous upstairs neighbor. All right, let's go for a little jump twist here. Last one. Hands come up overhead. We're gonna jump twist. A little speed here. Another option, if jumping isn't for you, same thing, just add on that speed. Make sure you're taking those eyes with you. Eyes guide the spine. Jumping or not, we're getting that heart rate up. Great job. Couple more seconds. Last one. All right, coming up to standing here again. We're doing that side crunch. Hands come up by your ears. Taking that little side crunch just like we did in the warm-up. Remember, rib to hip. We're nice and tall here. Proud chest. Catch that breath. Let that heart rate come down just a little bit. Great job. I love standing core exercises. Sometimes it's a little better than laying down on the floor in a puddle of your own sweat, or maybe you like that thing, that's fine too. Great job, guys. From here, we're coming into some good old-fashioned jumping jacks. Again, I'm gonna give you that option. You always have options. My only rule is that you don't stop moving. That's my only rule, ever. In any of my classes, in any of my videos, keep moving. I don't care how you're moving. You can be moving slow, but you're still moving. Let's go, last one here. All right, guys, traditional jumping jacks, I think you're probably pretty familiar, right? If you want to take this down to a little lower impact, we're leaving those arms, and we're tapping those feet out to the side. Little speed here. We're still trying to get that heart rate up. Doing great, guys. Land nice and soft, no clunking. When we're landing softly, it means you're still using your core, which is the whole point of this video. We're coming into a squat next. Last one. Perfect. Let's take those feet nice and parallel. I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see this. Glutes are going to come back behind us like you're sitting into a chair. You're going to come up, press those hips forward just a little bit, nice and forward. Inhale down. I want you to exhale up. Think about tightening that core. This is why squats actually also a core exercise as long as you're doing that breathing. Especially when we load these squats, if we're using weight. If you got those weights up by your shoulders, that's always an option, of course. That's really going to force you to use that core to make sure we're protecting that back. All right, guys, we're coming up on a cardio interval here. Squat jumps or speed squats. I'll show you both. Ready? Jump squats. Take it low. Hop up at the top. Nice and low. Hop up at the top. Other option, add that reach. Go for some speed. Little speed, but we're still keeping that nice form. Glutes are still coming back behind us. So great, guys. We're coming up on one of our last couple standing exercises next. We're going for some knee lifts with a little instability. Let's hold it up at the top. We're going to take those arms up above our head. Hold them there. Nice proud chest. We're gonna lift that knee, lower back down. Exhale as you lift. We're not coming forward. We're staying up nice and tall, nice and stable through that core. Whenever we're challenging that stability, we're challenging that core. Nice strong exhale, brace that core as you lift that foot and you shift your weight. Doing great, guys. We're coming into another cardio challenge next. You know, we're gonna go for some high knees, or you're gonna do a little jog / run in place. All right, let me turn sideways so you guys can see this. High knees, we're gonna lean back just a little bit. Look at that ceiling. High, 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 nice fat feet. Also option, a little slower. Jog in place. Just a little foot switch, jog in place. Up to you. We're gonna stay sideways for this next one. We're taking into some core burpees. It's a burpee, but the focus is on the core. I'll show you how. Stand up nice and tall here. Fingertips are gonna float by your ear. I want you to exhale. We're gonna squat and curl down like a crunch. Slow, 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 slow. Find your way to the bottom, hands come to the floor. Step a foot out into plank, step the other foot out into plank, step them back, step them back. Weight is back in your heels. Slowly curl up one vertebrae at a time. Slow, slow, slow. Tuck that chin, curl down, 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 and squat. Come to plank. Step it up. Step it in. Come back up, curl nice and slow. I think we got about time for one more. I think you know where we're going. We're gonna come into a full burpee for those 30 seconds. Options are to keep it low impact here and walk those hands and feet in and out and eliminate the jump at the top. Ready? Let's take that burpee. We're gonna squat down, hands come to the floor. Hop them out, hop them in, jump at the top. Other options are come down to the floor, walk it out, walk it in, stand at the top. Go what feels best for you and your body today. Maybe you combine them. Maybe you keep that jump at the top and you walk those feet in and out. Maybe you hop those feet in and out and you just stand at the top. A lot of options. All right, let's come on down to the floor. We're coming down for a plank. 1 minute plank. I know, sounds crazy, right? Let's go ahead, bring ourselves forward, roll those shoulders back and down. Tuck that chin just a little bit. Should be looking down right at those fingertips. Hands are right below those shoulders. We're squeezing those glutes just a bit, tucking that pelvis under. Your options here to be on your knees, like I am. You can be up on one knee, doesn't matter which knee, either is fine. Or of course, you can be all the way up on your toes. Wherever you are, I want you to think about pulling those palms in towards your knees or your toes. Embrace that shape. Doing so good, guys. We've got one more plank series after this. I know you can do it. In a couple seconds, we're gonna come into a mountain climber. Maybe you're gonna do a mountain crawler. I'll show you your options. All right, let's go ahead, bring it up into plank. We're gonna bring those knees in as fast as we can, but I want you to keep that booty down. No booty bumping here. Other options, crawl. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Whatever feels best for you. We're coming back into that plank position next for a little leg tap out. You can continue to do so on your knees or up on your toes. Bring it on down. Let's take a second to reset. I know it's hard. Let's come on back into that plank position, wherever that is for you. I'll show you on the knees. We're going to tap one foot out to the side, bring it back to center, other foot comes out to the side. If you're doing this on your toes, same exact thing. Up next, we're going for a plank jack. Your options would be to come up onto those toes, do that full plank jack, or to stay down on your knees and do this leg tap out with a little speed. I will show you both, of course. We've got 30 more seconds here. You guys are doing so good. I know, this set of planks is a killer. I know, but this is your last set of planks. We're gonna roll over into our back after this. You got it. Inside 10 seconds here. Keep those hips square to the floor. All right, let's go ahead. Option to bring it fully up into plank. Hop both those feet in and out. Option to stay here in plank. Bring one foot out, bring the other out. With a little speed. You can also still do this on your knees. You got 15 seconds. Take what's right for you. We're rolling onto our backs after this. We're gonna take that cross crunch. All right, last one here. Let's roll it over. We're laying on our back, knees are bent. Feet are flat on the floor. Fingertips floating up by your ears. Exhale, opposite knee, opposite elbow. Keep that chin tucked. I want you to juice that orange. You guys are inside 3 minutes of hard work. We're gonna stretch and cool down in less than 3 minutes. You got it. From here, we're gonna go ahead, take this into some sprinter crunches. Options, of course, are to stay here and add on a little speed. Just gotta keep moving. 10 seconds away. Sprinter crunches. We're gonna tap that foot with our opposite hand. Ready? Let's bring it down. Little sit up. You got it. Reach for those toes. We're coming into dead bugs next. Legs are gonna be up in a tabletop position. We're gonna move opposite arm, opposite leg. Last one. All right, lay it back. Let's bring those knees up in line with those hips. Arms are up in line with our chest. We're gonna extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Bring it back to center. Low back is squeezed into the floor. Keep within that range of motion that allows you to keep that low back into the floor. So if it starts peeling up, just shorten that range of motion with your legs. Just don't go down quite as low. We're gonna go for a scissor in about 20 seconds here. We're gonna be switching those legs out nice and fast. So good, guys. 10 seconds away. This is your last exercise. We're gonna stretch after this. Ready? Let's go ahead. Come on up. Hold here. We're gonna scissor those legs. Switching one leg out. Nice and fast. If you need to come down and reset, go ahead and do so. Keep that chin tucked. You got it. I know it's hard work. I'm feeling it too. 15 more seconds. We're gonna stretch. We're gonna rest. We're gonna recover. Oh, bring it down. Let's bring our arms out like a T. Let's come back up to the tabletop. Let's take a little spinal twist here. Bring those knees to one side. We're gonna go ahead. Look over opposite shoulder. Nice deep breaths here. Relax. Calm down. We're gonna spend 2 minutes here stretching, breathing, catching our breath. All right, let's come on back to center. We're gonna cross those ankles. Let's grab those knees. Bring them into our chest. Let's do a little back massage here. A little rock side to side maybe. Maybe some little circles with those knees. Just massage that low back into the floor. We're gonna come into that spinal twist on the other side here. Just a few seconds. Great job, guys. All right, let's take those legs out, or excuse me, those arms out. Legs up into tabletop. Knees come to the opposite side and look over that opposite shoulder. Enjoy that nice twist and stretch. We've got one more stretch after this. And then you guys are free to go on with the rest of your day. Go ahead, roll onto your back here. We're gonna extend our legs out all the way. And then we're gonna prop ourselves up on our elbows. Walk those elbows together as far as feels comfortable. From there, I want you to go ahead and look up towards the ceiling, or maybe you let your head dip back behind you for a fish pose. Nice stretch through the shoulders, the chest, and the core. Let's go for one more nice deep breath here. And whenever you're ready, go ahead, bring yourself on up. Thank you guys so much for being here today, for making it through. It was a lot of hard work. Virtual high fives all around. Thank you guys again so much for watching, for following. If you like this video, of course, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And I will see you guys again next Sunday.